right, I am live, I think, on YouTube and Facebook. How we doing, guys? My name is Sean, and this is Federal Prison Talk. Today, I got some news stories to go over with you guys about what's going on in the federal prison system. So let me make sure everything's working here. So I'm working on a few different things here. See, I have different angles now, and you can see my little studio. Let me get rid of that and do this. And I'm working on different things. I guess I'm a minute or two late coming in the room. Hey, Wesley's in the room. Hey, Wesley, if you want to come in, I'm going to post a link here. Anybody wants to come in, let me post this link here. Anybody wants to join me today? I'm just getting back into doing videos, guys. There we go. So if you want to come on in, Wesley. So I'm going to try to do my share screen today and show you a bunch of stories. And Spinal is in the room. All right, Spinal. Spinal Tap. Remember that movie, Spinal Tap? Maybe you guys don't. Might be a little before your time. Guy named Nigel was the lead guitarist. I don't know if you guys remember. But anyways, there's the link. So let me see if my share screen works. So, every couple of days on my Gmail, I got a thing called Federal Prison News, and I get these stories. There's 10 or 20 or 40 of them every couple of days, and they're very interesting. It's all about corruption going on in the feds and people getting sentenced to, 1 year and 20 years. And anyway, so I'm going to read stories, and we're going to talk about them. So let me see if I can share my screen here. Give me a minute here. I may mess this up at first. So let me see. Let me go to my share screen here. And let's go to my Gmail. And I'm going to go down to, where's my federal prison stories? Let's see here. Here we go. Now I got to make sure this shows up. So let me go back to my StreamYard, see if this is showing up. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying to work this out. Did I get cut off already? All right, hold on. Let's see. I don't know if this is showing up. Let me go to stop sharing. This better work today. All right, I know I'm cut off, so let's see. Oh, he says we can see it. Okay, so let me go back to my share screen, and I'll go to here. And I don't want that. I just want me, my share screen, and we're going to read you these stories, and we're going to go over them together. All right, first story. A chaplain at Dublin Federal Prison sentenced for sexually abusing incarcerated women. A chaplain. Can you imagine that? Let me see if this is showing up. I'm not seeing anything. I'm hoping you guys can see this. All right. Yeah, it does show up. It does show up. Okay, I see how that works. All right, so let me go to... let's start with this story. This is by the Vanguard staff, Dublin, California. A former Federal Bureau of Prisons, BOP chaplain here at Dublin Federal Facility has been sentenced in. And let's click on the story. And it says the chaplain, he was sentenced for sexually abusing incarcerated women. This is a chaplain. This is supposed to be the guy you can trust. It says a former Federal Bureau of Prisons chaplain here at Dublin Federal Facility has been sentenced in the Northern District of California to 84 months in the Dublin prison for repeatedly sexually abusing incarcerated female and lying to federal agents. His name is James Theodore Highhouse. Yeah, Highhouse my ass. 50 years old. Previously pleaded guilty to 5 felony charges last February. He had been a corrections worker and a chaplain since 2016. It's only been around, 8 years at the Dublin facility that houses female inmates only, according to a statement Friday by the Department of Justice. High House led religious service. How's that working? I don't know if you guys saw all that. I'm learning this StreamYard how to share my video. But anyway, so this chaplain, 50 years old, his last name is High House. And so, he's sitting there with women who've been through trauma. They're incarcerated. They said he has the power to handcuff them and write them up and do disciplinary reports. And he's raping them. He is raping them. This went on in Dublin, California. And if you guys don't know, in the federal system, there's not that many women's prisons. I think there's 26 women prisons in the whole country. And Dublin's like one of maybe 3 in California. So this chaplain, and he got 84 months. You guys think that's enough time? I don't. And it says he raped multiple women. And this is what he got caught for. This is what they know about, okay? And these are probably the women who came forth. 84 months. What is that? 60 years. 60 months is 5 years. 7. So he got 7 years for raping women while he's like the chaplain in a prison. Could you imagine? I mean, you might see this on the Orange is New Black or something like that, one of these TV shows. This is real life. Audio just came back. He says, hear you now. Okay. Vegas Prison Stories is in the house. Yeah, I got to watch this sharing my my StreamYard, guys. Maybe I should have went downstairs and plugged my Ethernet cable in. But he can hear me now. Vegas Prison Story says, damn, YouTube not sending me notifications when you're live on videos. Hey, Spinal, I found out even if you ring the bell and you hit all notifications, when you hit that bell, there's a little settings button. It's one of those little gears, If you click that gear, there's more settings. And I clicked my gear and it said show all notifications and the thing was turned off. Even though I hit all notifications, I'm thinking I'm good, right? I'm good. I hit all notifications. No. When you click that bell, look for the little gear, click the gear, and then there's more settings. And for some reason, I still had to click the little slide to show me all notifications. So try that, guys. It's something I just found out the other day. So that might help you. And we got Go Kings 8. Oh, I know who you are. I just talked to you on the phone. How you doing, Matt? I give you away. I'm telling everybody your name's Matt. That's not telling them much, is it? And Vegas Prison Stories. No, I've been asking in the comment videos about where you are. Haven't seen you in a minute. Yeah, Rick. I'm back, man. I had a little prison explosion. Been out about 3 years, and I just kind of went off the deep end there for a couple days, and my whole life's been prison, Rick, and I work for Wings for Life, where we help incarcerated people. We help their families while people are locked up. People come out of prison, they come in our office, and we give them community service and stuff to do. And every day is prison for me. Prison. I got my job because I went to prison, so I'm grateful for that. Had I not went to prison, this place would not have hired me. Imagine that. It's like one of the requirements to get the job was to be in prison. It's only $15 an hour, but it is what it is right now. I got three months left on my federal probation out of my 3 years, and I got plans for next year. to maybe do some prison consulting, things like that, and start my own business and all that. But that's all coming up in the future. Actually, tomorrow, me and Tom are doing we're going to try to offer some services out there to people. And, there's guys that charge you $10,000 to help you prepare to go to prison. I think that's ridiculous. Why would you pay $10,000 for somebody just to prepare you for prison? But there is a lot of people on a federal pretrial. There's a lot of things they don't know that their lawyer can't answer. I get calls from guys all the time. Their lawyer doesn't even know what a custody level is. A custody level is where they're going to send you. In the feds, there's 5 kinds of prisons. There's your minimum, which is a camp. Then there's your low security. Then there's your medium or your FCI. Then there's your penitentiary. Then there's ADX Supermax. And a lot of guys don't know what kind of prison am I going to go to. And usually if you're out on a pretrial, which the feds do for quite a lot of nonviolent criminals, you can spend years. For me, it was 4 years on pretrial, just going to court every 3 months, checking in. While I know one day I'm going to get sentenced and one day I'm going to go to prison. And I don't know if it's this year or next year or 3 years from now. But I'm running around free. I'm able to go to work and come home and all this. I got to check in with a pretrial officer. I got a drug test. I got all this stuff. Some guys are on ankle bracelets. It's kind of, you're out on bail until you get sentenced. And you go through hell. And the lawyers really can't help you. The lawyers will help you when you get to court. And they know they know the stages you're going to go through. But a lawyer won't even take the time to explain the whole federal system to you. And then you got 100 questions, and lawyers don't want to be bothered. You might have paid the guy $50,000, and he's not going to answer all your little phone calls. What's it like to use the bathroom in there? Are they going to beat me up when I get there? What's the food like? What's my first day going to be like? Can I self-surrender? Am I going to go to a camp? Am I going to the penitentiary? What's my classification level? Most lawyers don't even know what that is. Well, I have a way to do that. And there's all these services that these prison consultants like to provide, and they like to charge you $10,000. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not even going to come close. But that'll be tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And I always tell anybody, if you got no money and you're going through what I went through, a couple guys helped me out for free, and I want to pass on the favor. There was a guy named Walter Pavlo. He was a prison consultant, but now he's teaching at the Southern University of Boston. He's teaching criminology courses, and he's a good guy. And he put $100 on my books every month for 3 years while I was in prison. Never missed a month. Walter Pavlo. You can find him on Twitter and LinkedIn. He's always doing a story on federal prison news, which I'm going to try to get to here in a minute. We'll do another story. Let me catch up on some comments here. Wesley Audio just came back. Spinal says, VPS going to your channel now. Okay, great. I put the link up there. Harvey's in the room. All right, all my buddies are here. All my prison buddies are here. The warden at Dublin also got sentenced. I did see that story, and hopefully I can get to that one too. That's right. Yeah, get those wardens. Thanks for that notifications tips. Yeah, you're welcome, Leslie. Wesley. I said Leslie. I meant Wesley. I got a cousin named Leslie. He still won't talk to me. When you go to prison, a lot of your family, well, at least a lot of my family on my mom's side want nothing to do with me. Plus, I was a troublemaker to begin with. I was the guy. I had been in and out of county jails. They gave up on me probably on the third rehab, and the fourth time in jail, they just wrote me off. And that was in my 30s. I had a long way to go before I grew up and finally got it, guys. I'm 58 years old now. I went to prison when I was 52. And that was my wake-up call. Prison. Jails didn't do much for me. They didn't do much for me. They pissed me off more than anything. I couldn't wait to get back out and go get high again and screw my life up all over again. That's what jail did for me. Jail just made me angry, but prison woke me up. Prison woke me up, guys. And prison doesn't wake up a lot of people. I'm lucky that prison woke me up. And I was in a camp, a federal prison camp. We have no fences, guys. Just out-of-bounds signs. So if you wanted drugs or alcohol, real alcohol, by the way, Jack Daniel's bottles for $140 for a big fifth. It was there. It was available, but it was my wake-up call. So I chose not to do any of that stuff. Instead, I started AA meetings because they didn't have AA meetings there. But I took drug programs and rehabs in the prison. I took classes and programs and worked on myself. I worked on my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit, and I worked on what's going on up here, and I decided it's time to wake up. I was 52 years old, and what I got to show for it, a 52-month sentence. Boy, my life, it took 50 years, but I'll take it. So it took 50 years. I wish I would have got it when I was 22. I really do. I wish I would have got it when I was 16, but it came from a broken home, family of drunks and drug addicts and everything else in my family, and abuse and child abuse. And my dad was a wife beater and a child beater, and I was molested when I was 5, and all this kind of stuff that I just held on to for too many years, guys. Too many years I held on to that stuff. It's finally time to grow up. Are you going to hold on to your past forever? Because you know where that's going to get you? Well, for me, it got me in prison because I didn't care about anything. Today, I care. And, that's kind of why I started this channel, to help somebody that maybe went through what I went through. And, and there was nobody to turn to when I was on federal pretrial other than RDAP Dan, who also put some money on my books, answered my phone calls, answered my questions. And today we're friends and we talk. And Walt Pavlo. There's a bunch of other guys out there that wouldn't do nothing for me, wouldn't even answer their phone unless I had $10,000. So I never want to be like those guys. And I'll just throw out this guy's name. Please don't ever call this guy. And if you're watching, his name is Justin Paperny, federal prison what's his white collar consulting, something like that. So this guy is promising people that if you hire him and pay him $10,000, you'll only do 30% of your sentence. Well, that's fraud in my book, and I think you need to go back to prison because you didn't learn your lesson, Justin. You shouldn't be telling people that. And if YouTube wants to shut me down for this, oh well, at least I got that message out. Do not call Justin Paperny. Okay? The guy's a fraudster. He hasn't learned his lesson. He's a pompous asshole, if you ask me, and he needs to go back to prison. And anyways, I said it. Oh, no. I said it. Do not call that guy. Call me, and I'll help you out for free. How's that? Anyways, so let me get on to these comments. And I shouldn't have said all that because YouTube's so particular. God, I hope I don't get shut down for saying that. Harvey says, hey, VPS. And Spinal says, how many BP8 and BP9s did you file? Actually, I never filed any because I was scared. I was scared that if you file against the guard, so when you file, you got to hand that paper to somebody, right? Somebody with a badge, and they're going to read it, And, I didn't want any repercussions. So I never filed. I just kept my mouth shut, man. I just whatever, it's a shakedown, a lockdown, whatever you're going to do to me. I just took my punishment. I was afraid to file any paperwork. Some guys, that's all they do. Yeah, but me, I didn't want to steer up the stew. You know what I mean? Spinal says camps are loaded with alcohol and K2 spice. Dudes had the family drop off fast food at night. I tell you, my second night in prison, guys. My second night there, right? The first night, I was just kind of getting to know people there, but there was this guy in the TV room that I just met. Let's call him Mark, right? Maybe Mike, whatever his name was. Well, the next night at 3 a.m, all the lights go flashing in the camp, and all the guards come through, and everybody get up, and they're doing a count, and they're counting everybody, and they're doing 3 and 4 counts every 20 minutes. And I'm going, what's going on? We're all looking out the windows, and we could see out in the field somewhere by the side of the road, there's all these lights and all these cars and spotlights and everything. And we hear sirens and all these flashings. And this guy, Mike, had went out to the side of the road to pick up a duffel bag, which is what happens in camps. But he got caught this night. So apparently what happened was he had his wife. Okay, this guy, Mike, was getting released at 6 a.m. This is 3 a.m., 3 hours before the guy's going to get released. He's out on the side of the road picking up a duffel bag full of cell phones and, cigarettes and alcohol and drugs or whatever's in these bags that they get, right? I'm not giving away any secrets, guys. There's no fence at the camp, so you can imagine. Things get dropped off at the side of the road and things get brought back in. And in the middle of the night, people sneak out because they don't lock the doors in the buildings. And they come back in and, you know, they bring in their bag. And I heard they get $500 just for a 5-minute trip to the side of the road and bring it back. So this guy had owed a gambling debt. I think it was about $4,000 he owed in gambling. And I guess he promised whoever he owed the money to that his wife was going to drop off a bag the night before he gets released, and he's going to go get that bag and bring it and pay off his debt so he can leave prison free and clear. Well, they caught him. They caught him good, and they caught his wife. They caught her down at the Foster Freeze in Florence, Colorado, which wasn't even a half a mile from the camp. They caught her at a got light, and they swooped and grabbed her and pulled over her car, and they caught her. She ended up getting 2 years in federal prison. She got 1 year for a contribution to, I forget what the charges were. He got an additional 2 years added to his system, to his sentence. Plus, he got shipped to a medium, lost all his good time. And, you know, I guess 2 years isn't really that bad of a deal. It could be, but his wife gets a year. And the guy was, in 3 hours, he was going to be released. Why couldn't he have just waited till he got released and then go drop a bag off later that night and just drop the bag off and keep driving and let somebody else pick it up? Hello? You know, these guys are not that smart. And this is my second night in prison. And I'm learning all about these bags that are dropped off at the side of the road. So let's catch up with these comments. Sea-Dog. Hey, Sea-Dog's in the room. What's going on? Sea-Dog from Tijuana. Sea-Dog, I just I've been watching this guy on YouTube. Can't remember his name, but he's doing a thing on club girls and escorts in Tijuana. And all his videos are about the girls in Tijuana, right? And it's better to go with the club girl than get an escort. And this guy's got like 20,000 subscribers, and all he does is talk about hookers, really. He has no background, nothing. He's just a plain, I don't know how the guy's making it, but I've watched like 3 of his episodes, so I'm guilty too. What's going on, Sea-Dog? What's going on? Hey, I'm going to put the link in here again, guys, if you guys want to come on the show. Here it is. Anybody wants to come on, I got the link. New Age Plug is in the house. So, guys, I want to put a shout out to all these kids. Check out Sea-Dog and Cooper Show podcasts. Okay, just type in Sea-Dog, it'll show up. New Age Plug, another great channel. Harvey Talks Prison, he's in the room. Vegas Prison Stories. Who am I forgetting? Spinal, I don't know if you have a channel, but if you do, go check out Spinal. Vegas Prison Stories, let me see. All right, let me catch up on these comments. Spinal says, the dummies are the ones that walk away from the camps. LOL, they end up getting caught eventually and end up at a FCI. Yeah, if you're going to a camp, man, I'm going to say 30% of the guys had cell phones in there. Idiots. For anybody you call on that cell phone, it gets pinged at a tower, and they check the tower, and they check the pings, and they check the numbers. And if that number's on your reference of family and friends and stuff, man, they come and get you, man. You don't even have to get caught with the cell phone. You can get caught for borrowing a cell phone. Hey, Sea-Dog's in the house. Tijuana.
Man.
What's going on, Tijuana?
Right.
Let me get rid of this one here. All right. How you doing, man? Good to see you, man.
I'm doing good, bro. You know, like you said, hey, you know what? It's like, you know, a lot of people like to want to see that stuff. You know, like, to be honest with you, it's like just going down there and filming that stuff, you know, I don't know. It's, you know what I mean, right? Like,
oh, you're talking about the guy with the video that talks about the club girls and stuff. Yeah.
No, I know. I heard you say that. You know what I mean?
He named 4 clubs in Tijuana that you should go to. He says the clubs are safer because if you get a girl there, you got security. If you go get an escort, somebody's going to knock on the door and take your money and rob you and all this other stuff. I don't know. He says it's legal in the clubs. Is it true?
Yeah. See, what it is, you go in the club. Say you go into a club like Hong Kong or any of them.
You mentioned that, Hong Kong, yeah.
Yeah, so you go to them spots, bro, and the other bras that are stripping, you know what I mean, they're you know, you can go there anyone you want, you know, and then once you pay her, once you get her, like right there, you go outside and there's like a little hotel right on top or something, and they, you know what I mean, they handle that.
He said it used to be $60 now, and it went up to $100 because of inflation.
Yeah, $100. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, yeah, you know, like right, I'm gonna be going to Cancun. I'll be in Cancun tomorrow, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm being Cancun tomorrow.
I saw you on your
I'm
video. Yeah, you're going to Cancun. I didn't know that, you know, other Mexicans go to Cancun too. I thought that was just for Americans.
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm the kind of person I want to check out everything Mexico has over here for me. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, man. There you go, man. Yeah, yeah.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go when I'm there. I'm gonna videotape everything, you know, record everything, go live and do some lives and all that as well.
All right. Yeah, man. Cancun,
And,
man.
and another thing that I got going. See what I got going. Like right now, I'm waiting for the pastor to come pick me up. I'm gonna go to. We're going to the streets right now. We're gonna go. We're gonna go give service and feed and all that. I'm gonna go live, so you know, in a few. So.
Oh, yep. So you go help, you go feed homeless people in Tijuana then?
Yeah, we go feed the homeless. I'm gonna go with the pastor. I'll go with the church. We go once a month to the streets. We feed the homeless. We pray for them, and we actually hold service on the streets.
I want to talk to you about that because I haven't been to Tijuana in like 20, 30 years. But when I went there, we parked our car on the American side and we walked over. Yeah. And as soon as we come through the gate, they're begging on the streets. They're just begging for food. I mean, not like a homeless guy here holding up a sign. These guys were dead. You could tell they were hungry. You could tell. I mean, you can't fake 3 days without eating. You know what I mean? And there's some. I mean, it's. To be homeless in Tijuana is not like being homeless in San Francisco. Am I right?
Oh, no. You know what is crazy? Because like in certain, like Mexico's a different animal. You know what I mean? Like over here, they're not everybody's handing you a taco or not everybody. So depending on where you're at, you know, yeah. But like the good, like right here in Tijuana, like now, like they have a few spots, bro, like in the morning and afternoon where they'll give you a burrito or two. So it's getting better, bro, but it's not the government giving it to you. It's like the people that donate and help, you know, not the government. It's nothing the government doesn't do any of that, you know, like help and, you know.
So, how about the cartel? They don't even want to help out their own people?
Nah, they help out too. They break bread. When they see that everybody, they break bread. They give food out. Yeah, they do that too.
Okay. So how many people will you see tomorrow? When you said tomorrow you're going?
Tomorrow I'm going to Cancun. Right now I'm going to the streets.
When you do go out and feed the homeless, how many people do you say you actually?
Bro, it's like a little encampment, bro. So we might be talking about 30 people, 40. I don't know. It's like a little encampment. Like I said, we'll have a line, bro. You know what I mean? We'll have a line of feed now there. So you know, sometimes it's 20, 30, 40. You know what I mean? Somewhere, you know. But we have a cool little, you know. You know, there's people there, bro. So we're basically we're sending out a message. We're touching lives. We're touching hearts, and we're touching people's soul, brother. What we're trying to do is, you know, it's like, you know, trying to spread the word, homie. You know what I mean? That, you know, God's our savior. You know that He's the one that saved us, and He paid you know, the highest price for me. So
no, I know you're out there doing it, man. I mean, do you ever see any success stories from the homeless people in Tijuana ever actually make it out of being homeless? Do they?
Well, see, another thing that the church that I'm hooked up with, they actually they barely built the church, bro. Right? So it's barely like, but now they have like a little home to where we're picking up free people from the streets, not a whole bunch, but like maybe one out of the whole bunch will pick one up and he'll take them home and you know, and they'll let him stay there. He'll clean up, and then as time goes on, if the person's ready, boom, he goes back to society. And you know, you know, he'll live his life, bro, according to his standards, right? Like we try to help people, you know, bring them from the streets and help them out and clean up, and then, you know, go back and be a productive member of society, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me answer some of these comments here. Street Money says, how much do phones go for at a camp? About $300 if you don't know the guy. I've seen them go as low as $100. But about $200 is probably the average price. Now, they're just going to give you the cell phone. You got to turn it on and activate it and have a credit card number or pay the bill. That's all on you. They're just going to give you some cheap Go phone from Walmart. You know what I mean? And it's going to be about $200. Yeah, so that's how that goes. In a penitentiary, though, I'd imagine it's $1,000 for a cell phone at least.
Oh yeah, in the penitentiary, different, bro.
It's hard to get them in there. Guards have to bring it in. See, in a camp, we don't need the guards. They have no. We can care less. We don't need to bribe you, manipulate you. We don't even want you around. We just go to the side of the road and pick up our bag. We don't care about. We don't need a guard for nothing. We just want you to stay away. So
hey, bro, you know what? I used to be at a spot, bro, in the feds where they used to recycle computers, like, you know, computers and phones and all that stuff, right? What people used to do, they used to find phones in there, and they used to find them and activate them and bring them back. Somehow they would get them to work, bro. These phones that were out, like, wow, these people are something else, you know?
Well, that's your tweakers, and now they're in prison, and they still know how to tweak. You know, they know how to take everything apart. I just didn't know that they know how to put it back together.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what these guys be doing nowadays. But yeah, they would bring them bags, and they would actually work, and they were selling them. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, okay. And I was like, where are they getting these phones from? They're like, nah, they're finding them back there, bro. They got a little spot where they recycle all that stuff.
Yeah, we had
coming
a
from the
recycling
streets.
section where I was at too, and these guys they bring back all kinds of electronic equipment. I mean,
they were doing that too over there.
Yeah, one guy built a laptop, and it's I don't know how he
did it. He built a laptop, huh? Wow.
Yeah, it didn't last about 3 days. They caught him, man, they shipped him off. We never saw him again, but he was a genius. You know, I worked at the ADX Supermax, right? In the daytime, they sent me over there to work in the kitchen. But, you know, the Unabomber, I got a Unabomber story. So, you know, Ted Kaczynski, you know who he is?
Yeah,
yeah. In the ADX, so they have a TV in their cell, right? But it's behind a big, thick glass and everything. There's no way to get into it. Somehow, Mr. Ted Kaczynski wobbled off the plastic and reached his hand behind the TV, and he grabbed the wires and pulled them out, and he pulled the wires out, and somehow he made a remote control so he could turn the channels on the TV. That's all just because otherwise they got to sit there and push the button, right? But they have headphones, and the headphone has like a 30.
I'm gone. I'm gonna go live in a little bit. I'm gone. I'm the church gone. I'm out of here. Bye. God bless.
All right, man.
God bless.
All right. So, anyways, he found out a way to take his headphone cord that was 30 feet long, hook it up to the TV, and make a remote control out of his little AM radio so he could push the buttons on the radio and change the TV. And you would think, well, what's the big deal? He's not hurting anybody. But, you know, it was a big deal. And they threw the Unabomber in the hole. So you would think in the ADX Super, they're already in a hole. But when they go to the hole in the ADX, it's just a cement room, man, with just like a hole in the ground and a roll of toilet paper. I think they have a cement slab to sleep on. They don't get a blanket. They don't get nothing. They probably get a jumpsuit to wear. And he had to spend 6 months in the hole for that. And that's my Unabomber story. Let's see. Wesley says he is a really good speaker. Yeah. And Harvey Talks Prison, guys. And if you haven't watched his channel, watch Harvey Talks Prison. I'm going to get on to some of these news stories here. Let's see if I can share my screen here. Hey, C-Dog, catch up on these comments. Harvey is the real deal. He is the real deal. When is your next live, Harvey? They're asking. Oh, Harvey's asking New Age, when is your next live? And that's inflation. Yeah. So let me try to share another prison story here. See if this works. Hope I don't go away. Share my screen. All right, next one. B.O. Baca Rattans Jonathan Roof to federal prison. B. Barber has sentenced Jonathan Michael Roofie, 49 years old, to 4 years in federal prison for conspiracy to commit health care fraud. Let's check out this story. I don't know if this is showing up or not. And it says here's the guy's picture. I don't know if you guys can see this. And it says Baca Raton, Florida. Self-admitted fraudster Michael Roofie will spend 4 years in federal prison. The Boca Raton resident entered a guilty plea to healthcare fraud in 2020. He was sentenced on Friday. He lives in the Fairfield at Boca Raton community. Okay, I thought Boca Raton, I don't know what that is, but I guess I'm learning. The United States Department of Justice issued this statement. U.S. District Judge Thomas P. Barber sentenced Jonathan Michael Roofie, 49 years old, to 4 years in federal prison for conspiracy to commit health fraud. The court also ordered Roofie to forfeit assets from several bank accounts, which are traceable to proceeds of the offense. As part of his sentence, the court also entered an order of forfeiture to the amount of $3 million, $3,127 million, the proceeds of the charged criminal conduct. So this guy got over $3 million. Let's see if I come back to my screen here. I hit the stop sharing button. Let's see now. I'm waiting for myself to come back. Uh-oh. I don't know if I'm still on. All right, I'm back, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if anybody's still here. A couple people in the room. I guess I lost people. So I'm trying to share my screen on the StreamYard, guys, and it keeps cutting me off. So, well, I think the best way, if I plug an Ethernet cord into my computer, and I'd have to go downstairs to do that, which is fine. I'll have to remember that for next time. Looks like I lost a couple people. Yeah, so trying to share these stories, just not working. There goes my plans for the day. What am I going to do? Well, I can answer some questions. Let's see. I'm caught up on the comments here. I do want to, well, as long as I'm waiting for people to come into the room, I'm going to put this little thing up here. So, guys, I'm going to do a little commercial for you, okay? So when I got out of prison, I couldn't open up a bank account because I had a fraud alert because I got sentenced for wire fraud. So I went to Chase Bank. I'm in the halfway house, and I tried to open up a bank account. And when I walked into the bank, a fraud alert came up, and they actually told me to leave the bank. Kindly, please. We cannot help you. So I found out about this. It's a Chime card. You can see it. It's just have you heard of Chime? So Chime is like a debit card. It's a bank account. It's a checking account. It's a savings account. If I have a paycheck I want to cash, I just take a picture with my cell phone, and by the end of the day, the check is cashed and it's put on my Chime card. And these are free. You can order. Here's a way to get $100, guys. You want to make $100? I got the link right here. So let's say you got a job, or you're on unemployment, or you're on SSI, however you get your monthly check. I'm hoping you get something every month. Well, you have to give them your routing number and your account number and all that, and you get it direct deposited. Well, if you switch to Chime, as soon as you put $200 on your card, they're going to add $100 the next day. You don't got to wait 90 days. You don't got to wait 60 days. You don't got to wait 30 days. You don't got to wait nothing. Put $200 on your card. They're going to add $100 by the end of the business day. So that's a free $100. And then you can just close your check, take the money out, get rid of the card, throw it away, do whatever you want. I suggest you keep the card because after 6 months of having a Chime card, I get this green one. It's called a credit builder card. My credit score was 511 points. 3 years ago when I got out of prison, I didn't get the Chime card until about 6 months, but after 6 months, I got the green card. Within a year, my credit score went up to like 650. Now it's at 782. 782. I've been out of prison a couple of years, but this Chime Builder card, every time I want to charge something, I have to add money. It's like a prepaid, it's like a secured credit card. So I'll on my app on my phone, I'll put $50 on my green card. I'll go buy gas or groceries, and that builds my credit. And I use the green card and I slide it, or I order something online, whatever. Now I got 762 on my credit score, and I got that in about a year and a half. But I got over 100 points added within a year on my card. So there's the app for that. So if you guys want to make $100, just go join this. Just order the Chime card. It's free. The card will come in the mail in 5 days. There'll be nothing on the card until you put money on it, but it's a free bank account. And they don't do any credit checks. You can have fraud alert like I did, all that. They give it out to anybody, and then you just earn your way up. After 6 months, they will give you the green card. So that's my little commercial for today. So let's see who else is in the room here. Let's see here. Okay. Nobody else is in the room. Maybe I lost everybody when I did that, so I might call it quits. Let's see. See if anybody else comes in the room. I tried sharing my screen. I'll try it one more time, and we'll do another news story here. Let's see. Here's a story for Adam. This is called Australian teen strip search and held in U.S. jail for 10 days after being denied a common visa waiver. Cameron Carter, 19 years old, who had never traveled on a plane before, was left unable to contact his family throughout the ordeal. There's his picture. He was detained for 10 days in U.S. prison after border officials deemed him in breach of entry requirements. Now, this could happen to our friend Adam, Australian prison stories. If he tries to come to America, this is what could happen to you, Adam. An Australian teenager who traveled to the U.S. for a job interview was strip searched and held in a federal prison for 10 days, including 8 confined to a cell after he was deemed ineligible for a common holiday travel program. The 19-year-old, who had never traveled on a plane before, was denied contact with his family in Australia throughout the ordeal. He was supposed to be sent back to Australia after 2 days, but was held on another 8 so he could go before a judge, after an immigration officer said he had resisted returning to Australia. When he was finally placed on a flight to Australia, it landed in Melbourne, more than 750 kilometers from his home in Bathurst, New South Wales. Cameron Carter flew into Honolulu on a Jetstar flight from Sydney. That's where Adam lives, on the 15th of August. He was intending to catch 3 domestic flights to reach the small town of Powell, Wyoming, to visit a friend and interview for a potential job as a first-year mechanic. He had a return flight to Australia booked And again, I'm getting cut off. And again, I'm getting cut off. Let's see here. Facebook user. What does this say? Are you looking for a way to grow your social media accounts? I am here to help. Oh, wow. I got spam? Any kind of, oh, I got spam going there. Okay, well, lost you, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I try to share a news story, and it says, anyone here? I got to figure out a better way to work out the StreamYard so I could share these news stories. Yes. So, Wesley, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Every time I try to share a story, it's cutting me off. Could be my internet connection. I had plans to, do these federal prison news stories, but I keep getting cut off. So I need to go back to my StreamYard school and figure out what I'm doing wrong. When I share my screen, it's not coming out. So anyways, well, there's a few people back in the room. One on Facebook and Armin Timin from Facebook. That shows your name. And okay, so anyways, well, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up because this is not working out. Not working out. But tomorrow I got a live show at 7 o'clock, me and Tom, and we're going to go over the whole justice system of the federal government from start to finish, from when you get indicted to the day you get sentenced. And we're going to try to help out all you guys on pretrial and answer your questions and stuff. And we won't be sharing the screen, so I shouldn't have this problem. We'll be live at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Aaron, hey, well, I guess if people are coming in, I won't go away. He says, hello, everyone. Hey, Aaron, how you doing? Wesley says, no worries, man. I will help you work out all the bugs that the best I can from my end. Yeah. So maybe you know how to share a screen on StreamYard without it cutting me off. So every time I try to do that, and I don't know if the stories are showing up. When I replay this on YouTube, I'm gonna see what happens. I don't know if I disappear and I come back. But it's got to share screen. It's supposed to be able to let me share the stories. So I really don't know anything, but I can let you know things like when you lose audio. Yeah. No, that helps. That helps. Let's see what else. If I hit the share button, let's see if it lets me even do this. Let's just see if it lets me show a picture. Let's just see. No pictures are coming up. Yeah, I'm going to cancel that. Well, I'm trying to share screen. Let me try one more thing here. Video file. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if it lets me show a video. Yeah, if it does this, I'll show you my little interview. Let me show you my little interview when I was on TV, guys. Let me see if this works.
Who is representing today Wings for Life International. Now, we've had the privilege many times of sharing with folks from Wings for Life, but today, Sean, we're going to kind of go in a new direction and look forward to hearing your story and how it fits in. I think a good place to start is tell us about you and tell us maybe just a little bit about how you got connected with the folks with Wings for Life.
Okay. So I was hired on about 8 months ago from Wings for Life. How I got hired was I have a YouTube channel called Federal Prison Talk. And
That's a unique name.
It is. And so I went to federal prison. I've been out about 3 years, and I did 3 years in federal prison. And that was kind of the turning point in my life that finally woke me up. But I started this channel because in the federal system, people go through pretrial. It was 4 years for me on pretrial. So you're at home, you can go to work and all that, but one day you're going to go to prison. And every couple months you go to court and you check in. And
I think I clean up good after prison, huh?
You check in with a pretrial officer. But sooner or later, they're going to sentence you. And it's a living hell. Your life's on hold,
Wow.
So I started the channel to help people that went through the same thing I did. Because there was 2 guys doing it before I went to prison who helped me. and answer 100 questions I have that the lawyers can't help you with.
Well, tell us a little bit about, you have a kind of an inside track of what somebody who is going to be incarcerated at the federal level has encountered. Give us, just a little glimpse behind the scenes. What are some of the things that you would share with people on your channel? And then we're going to talk about how that's connected to Wings for Life.
Yeah, because that tied it all in. So I put my phone number on my YouTube videos, and I have about 300 of them. And you would think, why would you put your phone number out there for people? I'm going to tell you, God doesn't let crazy people call. I've never had I've been doing it 2 years, never had crazy people call me. I get 2 or 3 or 4 calls a day, nothing more than I can't handle, but usually from different people. I probably talked to 500 people in the last 2 years.
Wow.
And they call me up, I've been watching your videos, there's so much help, thank you. I can't find these answers, my lawyer doesn't know how to get into a RDAP program to give me a year off. I don't know how to write a character reference letter. My lawyer won't have time for me. What's it like to use the bathroom in prison? Are they going to beat me up when I go there? I'm getting the people that are nonviolent, that are out on the pretrial. Like I was telling earlier, the terrorists, the rapists, the murderers, they're locked up the whole time until they're sentenced. I can't help those guys because they're locked up. But the ones, the nonviolent, and that includes a lot of drug dealers that are nonviolent, they call me and they want help. And they're almost crying when they call me because I think they watch my videos and they realize you got to take accountability for what you did, your crimes, your actions, everything you did. You don't only hurt yourself, you hurt your family, your kids, your loved ones, your friends, your employers, people you went to high school with find out. I mean, everybody's got you take those whole people down with you in a way, especially your close ones, your family. And unless you take accountability for your actions and you're willing to change and you want to change, then I can't help you.
Well, Sean, let's talk about that. Did prison change you? We hear various stories. Some people say, the extreme position, there shouldn't be prison anymore. I'm not sure that's accurate.
No, we need prisons.
But did it change you for the better or for the worse? Because I think you can hear both sides of that coin.
All right, I'm going to remove that. You can catch it on another video. But yeah, I was on TV, guys. So let me, I saw a question here from Spinal. Can you help someone go into a USP since you only know camp life? Well, here's the thing. Anybody going to USP is going to be locked up in detention the whole time. They're not going to be able to talk to me. But if their family calls me, I can still help them get a better outcome at their sentencing day. And there are things they can do while they're in detention until they get sentenced to the USP. But if you're going to the USP, that's the United States Penitentiary. They're not going to let you out on a pretrial release. I've never heard of that. I don't care how much money you got. If you're going to a medium, there are some rare cases. You put up a $5 million bond, ankle bracelet, and all that. If you're going to USP, but if your family calls me, and then they in turn can talk to you, and I can help you out with the character reference letters. I can prepare you on, help your family, send the message on what you're going to say to the judge on sentencing day. While you're in the detention before you get sent to the USP, you take all the programs that they have available, if church services, AA meetings, whatever it is. But I can help you out with the letters and things, and I can help your family prepare. So when your sentencing days comes up to court, your family can go in front of the judge and they can, state their case to the judge and what to say and what not to say. You never want to ask for probation, especially if you're in detention the whole time. You're going to a high security prison. They're not going to give you probation, okay? But it can make a difference at sentencing day what you say to the judge. So I can help a little bit. I can help them a little bit, Spinal. Yeah, just a little bit. Wesley says the video is laggy. The audio is fine. Nothing major. And Spinal says true. Yeah. But yeah, when you're locked up in detention. So the guys that are going to mediums, there's 5 levels of security in the feds. Like I said, there's a camp, the low security, the medium, the high or the penitentiary, and the 80X Supermax. Anybody go to the Supermax, I don't even know if they get visitors or anything. Supermax is a whole nother world. That's the most secure prison in the world. I worked at it in the daytime. When you're at a camp, you're a worker. They're working camps. So in the day, so like at was 8:45 in the morning, we go outside of the camp and we go to the parking lot where all the guards are parked, all their cars are out there and everything, and we wait for a little van to pull up, and the van's driven by an inmate, and that inmate would take 3 or 4 trips. We could fit 10 people in the van. There's about 40 of us that worked at the ADX Supermax in the day. So we're out there, and 10 of us would get in the van. He goes and drops everybody off at the Supermax. He comes back, he gets 10 more, he gets 10 more, he gets 10 more. And then we're all outside of the back gate at the Supermax. And then we got to wait, 15, 20 minutes. Those guards from the Supermax come out. 2 gates open up. The guards come through. Another gate opens up. Then they come out to the little parking lot area that we're at. And they call off our names, Cowgill 18649-111. And then I said, yeah, Cowgill 18649-111. Then I got to go line up against the fence. And they call all our names. They line us up. And then the gate opens back up. And then we go inside of the middle of 2 gates. And then they call our names again. And I have to say Cowgill 18649-111. Then I go through a metal detector. All right. And I'm kind of patted down. And here's the catch, though. So I'm in the culinary school over there at the ADX Supermax, too. And I got this big book, this big cookbook. It's a textbook. Inside of that book, I could have had cell phones. I could have had drugs. I could have had whatever. They have me lay the book down, on this little shelf. And then I go through the metal detector and I pick up my book. And then I go wait on the other side next to waiting for the next fence to open up. I could have smuggled anything in there I wanted, but I didn't. Never going to take that chance because I could have been bringing a cell phone to El Chapo for all they know, because I was actually working the line where we make the trays that goes to the inmates in the ADX Supermax. And if we wanted to slip a little note, underneath the pudding or underneath the salad or something, because certain trays, certain inmates have special dietary requirements. Like there's a guy on a low salt, or there's a guy that's a Muslim and he gets no pork. He only gets halal meals or kosher meals and stuff like that. And they all have a little number that we stick on a. We have these little stickers that we put on there, and it'll have their inmate number. Now I could go look up their inmate number and find out that was El Chapo's tray, and if he had a special diet. Now if they're just on the regular diet, we don't know where the tray goes. But if they're on a special diet, we have their inmate number, and I could stick a little note underneath the salad or something. And when he got that tray, he eats a salad, he'd see a little note. So there are ways to communicate and maybe sneak things in. I never did this, guys, but, while my brain was going, me and the guys inside of the Supermax, we used to figure out ways to escape if we were an inmate in there. We found 3 or 4 ways to escape the ADX Supermax, but you would need help. It would have to be an inside job from a guard. But, yeah, they could get out of their cell and they could sneak into they have these hot carts that they push down the halls with all the trays of the food. There's a cold cart and a hot cart. They wouldn't want to be in the hot cart, but so they have 2 trays that we serve them. One is a cold tray, one is a hot tray. The cold tray would be their salad and their dessert and their bread and everything that doesn't have to be heated up. Now, in that cart, there's room for a person to get in. These are big, giant carts that they push down the hall. So there would be a way for an inmate to get in there. And then when you got to the kitchen area where we were at, there's a little door to a corridor that it was our little break area outside. And if you slid a table next to the wall, you could climb up on the roof. And then from the roof, you could get a rope and swing it and tie it up to the light post and swing across over the fence and drop down, and the van could be there and pick you up and take you away. We had it all figured out. A few of us swore we were going to write books on how to escape the ADX Supermax. But that was just one way that I thought of. And other guys go, I've been working here 5 years. Oh, that plan would never work. I got the best plan. And guys we would sit there and plot on how to escape the ADX Supermax. And all the guys that would work in there, they were stealing meat and chicken and, and cheese and all this food that came in, because those guys got the best food in the Supermax. We were always scolded by the guards to make sure their food was prepared the best possible way. Even though all the federal prisons have the same menu, nationwide. It's like on chicken fajita day. Their chicken was marinated with herbs and seasons and spices, and then it was put on the grill with peppers and onions, and it was sauteed all on a big grill with the flour tortillas, and they had to be hot and soft, and you know, everything on there, and the beans and the rice, and everything was hot. And those chicken fajitas looked so good, because when I got back to the camp, our chicken fajitas on chicken fajita night didn't look nothing like we served at the ADX Supermax. And I used to tell the crowd, how come we don't get this at the camp? He says, well, why don't you come over here as an inmate, and then you'll get it. That was their answer. But those inmates in the Supermax, they have nothing but time, and all they do is they do their write-ups, their BP 108s and 109s, and they write if the food's bad, if it's not spicy, if it's not doesn't have the herbs and the seasonings, if it's not hot, they'll write you up. And the warden over at the Supermax, he paid attention to the write-ups, so their food was always the best. There's a guy named John Narducci, and he's on Facebook if you want to look him up. And he's been on a couple shows. He talks to me once in a while. One day, John, I hope you come on my show. But he did like 10 years at the ADX Supermax. But he said the food was top notch. Those guys we fed them good for what they gave us. They had really good food. So you know, but my point was, what was my point? We used to think of ways to escape the Supermax. And my point was all the stuff that's stolen out of the most secure, the most secure prison in the whole entire world. You wouldn't believe how much meat and cheese and onions and everything else is stolen out of there and brought back to the camp and then sold into the barracks at night. They have a whole recycling center there. So every day, you know, twice a day, we have to empty the trash. We have all these empty boxes lined up by the door. And inside of these empty boxes of supposedly trash, you'll have chunks of roast beefs and hot dogs and cheese and chicken breasts and all this stuff wrapped up 3 times in plastic, all hidden underneath a cardboard box, all bent up out of shape with like an X and a line across it. Now that's a mark for the guys that work in the recycling area. And that's a whole nother division of a job that you have at the camp. It's called recycling. So twice a day we have to go empty all this trash. And we just don't throw it into a trash bin. It goes into a big, giant trailer-like thing. So they open up the doors and we throw it in this trailer. And about every 3 days, an inmate comes and picks up this trailer and drives it over to a recycling area, which is in the middle of the Florence complex. And there's guys that work at the recycling center, and their job is to go through the trash and recycle anything that's recyclable. Aluminum cans, plastic, metal, whatever. They sort it all out. But while they're going through these dumpsters, these trailers, they'll find that X with a line, and it's got chicken, and it's got cheese, and it's got onions, and all the stuff that the inmates from the ADX Supermax put into that trailer. And 3 days later, stinky as it is, they're taking that and they're shoving it down their shirt, and they're going back to the camp. And when you get to the bubble, that's the main office, when you go through the main doors at the camp after your job on the outside, nobody checks you. You just walk right through and you go to your barracks. And these guys got everything stuffed underneath their shirt and then down their pants. They got chicken breasts on their left nut and everything else, smelly and stinky as it is. And about 7 o'clock later that night after chow, guys are walking down the corridor selling chicken, selling onions, selling cheese, all stolen from the securest, most prison in the world, the ADX Supermax. And basically, that's life in a camp. So, anyways, let me catch up with these comments. Where am I at? He says here. Yeah, works good. We can also see and hear you. Can you help? Oh, yeah, I already got to that. Yeah, you guys wear the green clothes, right? Yeah, we wear the green clothes. We look like forest rangers. Yeah. Burger Wednesdays. Oh, that was my favorite. That was my burger. Oh, and our burgers, check it out. Even at the camp, man, the guards that run the kitchen, even at the camp, they would cook the burgers to order off the grill. When we come through with our tray, they would just give us the bun, and then we hold our tray up, and the guard was always the cook. and he would scoop that burger right off the grill, hot and juicy, and put it right on your bun. It was a sizzling hot burger, man. And the French fries, deep fried right there in front of you, and they pull them out. And I mean, it wouldn't be more than two. I mean, these fries were hotter than you get at McDonald's. I love Wednesdays. Oh man, those burgers were so good, and it was pretty good meat. It wasn't the best, but I love hamburger. I love Wednesdays. Let's see. You got another Facebook user. What's this? Are you looking for a way to grow your media? Yeah, I'm looking for a way. Blah, 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 blah. How much are you going to charge me? Look at all this, man. Oh, his services will help me increase my brand. Really, man? I'll give you $2. I'll give you $2, okay? I'll give you $2. And he says, if you want a trail service contract, yeah, sure, buddy. I'm not going to ban you from my channel because you're trying to make a buck. I get it. But, you know. So anyways, let's see. Is anybody even watching me anymore? I got 5 people in the room. 6 people. Facebook. Let's see who's on Facebook. Armin and Tarmin from Facebook. Well, hey, Armin. See, I actually know who you are. Oh, this is our senior marketing manager. Oh, you're the Facebook user. All right, Armin. Well, Armin, what can you do for me for free? Help a fella out. Anyways, all right. So I don't know if I'm rambling on or what. I don't even know who's paying attention anymore. Well, let's see. 5 people in the room. How are you 5 people doing? What's up with you guys? Who are you 5 people in the room? How many likes do I got? I can't even tell. It doesn't show me. So let's see. All right. Well, I can't share the prison stories because it keeps cutting me off, so I won't do that. I think if I take my laptop downstairs in my living room, I can plug the Ethernet in, and I think I can share the stories. I will try that next time. P Nova speaks me, number 5. LOL. All right, you're number 5. Spinal Tap. The campers at Atwater always like the USP food better. Yeah, you know, the higher the security, the more people are going to write you up. Us campers, we're afraid to write things up because we want to go home, man. We got 2, 3, 4 years left. We're going home. USP, those guys, you know, they got 20, 30 years. They got nothing but time to write up the food. So, yeah, so the guards, you know, the food is better at a USP. Not every USP, but most of them. And it really depends on the inmate who's cooking the food. And you got some inmate, he's been there 8 years. He's all locked up with the guards. He's all, you know what I mean? He's all kissing their ass and whatever. However he got the job, they're not going to fire him. And this guy could care less on how the food tastes. Now, we had a good cook for about a year when I was in prison, that this guy would take the time and cook it properly and season it and spicing it. And in a lot of a lot of the COs that run the kitchen, they're in charge of ordering the spices and the herbs. And you got to be on their ass. Hey, man, I need oregano. I need Italian herbs. I need red peppers. I want to make this spice. I want to make this food good. I got to feed 500 people. I want to make them happy. And you got to speak up. And they'll order you the herbs and they'll order you the spices. Other guys, they don't really care because they're just going to steal all the chicken at the end of the day. They got 4 homeboys that they're handing the chicken out to, and they're running it and selling it at night. He's making a buck, and he could care less how the food tastes. Now, an inmate like that should not be working in the kitchen, but yet they get the job. And it used to piss me off. We had chicken fried rice like once a week. And I used to call it BYOC, bring your own chicken. I'd be lucky to get 2 little pieces of chicken in my chicken fried rice. But later on, at 7 o'clock at night, they're running down the corridor selling off the chicken that my tax dollars went for. Because, yes, I paid taxes before I went to prison, right, to pay for my food. And you're selling me my chicken that I was supposed to get for free. And you want me to buy it. Fuck you. And I got pissed off. But in their eyes, no, you know, they're just stealing from the government. Well, I stole from the government. I went to prison. You're in prison. So, you know, it's like, oh, just... You know, these guys, they don't care. And so anyways, I'm just rambling, ain't I? P. Nova speaks. My husband's case manager retired, so he's currently in limbo, waiting to be pushed out to SD for the halfway house. Wow, the case manager retired, so all the paperwork's just piled up on a desk somewhere, all the folders and there. Oh, that sucks. That sucks because these case managers, a good case manager would close all these cases before he left, before he retired. He'd leave with everything good and done, right? But not in the feds. Case managers are lazy to begin with. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. A new case manager is going to come in, and he's going to have a pile of paperwork, and he's not going to know where to start. And sometimes they're just going to transfer a case manager over from the USP, and he gets a better job to go work at the camp to finish his last 3 years of retirement. He gets there, and he's used to working with terrorists and bank robbers and stuff, and he could care less about a camper, so he's not going to do the work. The whole system just sucks. So I'm very sorry for your husband. I hope that they do get his paperwork done and get him out of there. Yeah, Spinal says, how many times did the COs fake a count? Those guys, they only got two hands. They can only count to 10. That's why there's two of them there. So we had 16 inmates on each range. They can only count to 16. We used to joke about that, but yeah, sometimes they do. They don't want to do the paperwork. There's a guy missing. It's like, oh, we got a guy missing. Well, let's count again, and there's still a guy missing. Well, that guy missing, he might be working in the kitchen. He might have got sent over to the USP to clean out. They had a riot over there, and he's cleaning up the gym where because I had to clean up all this blood one time at the USP. They sent three of us over there, and we walk into the gym, and there's just blood just squirted everywhere on the gym floor, right? Everywhere. And they gave us 3 mops, and they don't even give us the right chemicals to clean it up or nothing, just some soap and water. And they said, clean up all the blood, get this place clean, and then you guys can go home. And I mean, there's blood everywhere, man. And it took us 4 hours to mop and clean that blood off. And I don't know whose blood it was, but yeah. So I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. So these COs, if somebody's missing, they want to go home. This is their last count of the day, right? They're doing a 3 o'clock count. They're due to go home at 4 o'clock. They don't want to do the pit. They know it's overtime. If somebody's missing, they're not going home till that person's found, and it could be till midnight. And these guys want to go home. They're just fuck it, just write down that there's 14 of them, and let's go home. It happens. It really happens. Pinoa speaks. Chels, that sucks. Yeah. Sucks, and it hurts our family. They don't care. No, they don't care. All those guys care. All the correctional officers, all they care about is their retirement and their pension, how much money they're going to make, and sending their kids to college. And it's really all they care about. It's all you ever hear them talk about is how much money they're making and their retirement fund and their pension and their benefits. That's all they care about. Really, it's all they care about. Yeah, spinal BS. Some idiot CO forgot to do the. Yep. That's how it is, man. It's really how it is. Well, I appreciate you guys. I think I'm gonna call it quits. I gotta. Next time I come on, I'm gonna plug my Ethernet cable in and try to show these news stories properly because this Wi-Fi and the stream. I love StreamYard, but it's not working for the share screen, guys. I had bigger and better plans. And I went to prison too. So, if you don't speak, yeah. All right, man. So, anyways, guys, yeah, I like to say peace out, love, and all that stuff. I will be live tomorrow with Tom, and we're going to go over anybody on pretrial, how we can help you get a better outcome at the end of your sentencing day. Okay, and we're not going to guarantee no time off like Mr. Justin Paperny will tell you you get 30% of your time if you pay him 10 grand. The guy needs to go back to prison. You hear that, Justin? You need to go back to prison. You goddamn prison consultant motherfucker. Oh, just this guy. Do not call Justin Paperny white collar criminal, whatever his whips. Don't give the guy the time. He does make good videos. He makes good informative videos. I'll give him that. But just call him up and see what an asshole the guy is. Anyways, do you have a favorite CO? Yeah, I do have a favorite CO. We called him the Beard. I'll tell you a quick story before I go. So I used to play my guitar, right? Like I got here. So in the feds, they have a music room, and they have we had about 25 guitars. And I used to grab my guitar, and I'd go find a spot off on a bench over near the cafeteria, between the warden's office and the cafeteria, where nobody went to at night. And I'd watch the sunset, and I'd play my guitar. And this guy, we called him the Beard. I think his name was Reardon, Officer Reardon. Anyways, he would come by, and the first time he came by, he requested a song by Creedence Clearwater Revival. And I remember he asked, can I play Stuck in Lodi? And I said, yeah, I can play that. So he came by again, and I was playing the song, right? And he said, in the old days, we used to throw you guys a cigarette when you guys would play guitar out here and stuff. And I go, well, hey, man, you can still do that. I'm joking around and stuff. And he goes, I'll think about it. So he asked me to play another song. And what was the other one? He says anything by Elvis. So I played Suspicious Minds. And he came by, and I'm playing Suspicious Minds, and he threw me a cigarette. He threw it on the ground, and he kept walking. And he came back again, and I said, I will never tell anyone what you did. And he goes, I'm counting on it. And ever since then, once or twice a week, I'd be out there playing, and he would throw me a cigarette, and I never told anybody. I didn't go back to the barracks. Guys, check it out. The guard gave me a cigarette for playing a song. I didn't say nothing. And, as months went by, he figured out that I kept my word. I never told nobody. So I'd get 2 or 3 cigarettes a week from him. And he was my favorite guard. He used to tell me, I'm no different than you. I just never got caught. He goes, yeah, I've done the same things you guys done. I've done drugs, I drink, I've broken the law. I just got lucky. I got this job. And I hope I never get caught. He goes, and that's why I know where you guys come from. And another thing, so we used to smoke in the bathrooms at the federal, at the camp. And some guards would, if they caught you smoking, they could take away your good time. I seen a guy get 40 days off his good time taken away for smoking, and he was supposed to be released in a month. But other guards would come in and make you do yard duty, or you pull the weeds or something for a week. There was one guy who would make us do 50 push-ups. Another guard would make us clean the bathroom. But the Beard, Reardon, he would come by, and we'd be smoking in the bathroom, and he'd go, hey, guys, I gotcha, ha, 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 ha. And then he'd keep walking, and he'd have a laugh. And that's how he dealt with it. So that was my favorite CO. You know what I mean? So anyways, with that, I'm going to call it quits. Any more questions? That was it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Check me out tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Thanks again, guys.